Well, welcome back. So we're in the back room now, getting ready to do a almond floured crust pizza. We already have our dry rub made up already. We have 2 cups of almond flour. We have oregano leaves, and we have Italian seasoning. We have pink Himalayan salt, and we have baking powder. So we have about a tablespoon of each, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of baking powder, onion powder, and we have the garlic powder. So now we have that all set. Now it's time to add the wet ingredients. For this you're going to need 2 eggs. One egg, and put the other egg in. So I'm going to be using a tablespoon of oil. And this is basically all you really need, but I'm going to put just a little bit more. The last time I made it, it was kind of dry. Okay, we put, for our purposes, we put 2 tablespoons of oil in, and it should be fine. Well, welcome back to the kitchen with Ron. So today we're going to be making a almond floured crust pizza. I've been getting a lot of requests for this. So what we have in the bowl, we have 2 eggs that we cracked open. We have 2 cups of almond flour. We have garlic powder, onion powder, baking powder, and a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. And we have oregano leaves, and we have Italian seasoning. That's it for this this mix, this rub. So it's very, very simple. And then we'll take a spatula and we'll mix it up. And if I feel as if I need to use hands, I'll just get down and dirty with my hands. But it's pretty easy. Just break the eggs, and just keep working it to form some type of a dough. And you know, I made this this past Saturday, and it came out really, really, really great. Now at this point, when you're doing this, you should already have your oven preheated to 400 degrees, and you're going to be baking the dough batter. You're going to be baking this off at to about 8 minutes until it's golden brown. We're going to mix the dough into some type of a batter. I can feel it already moist. It's perfectly fine. Okay. You know, the thing of it is, when you're doing this, you don't want to over mix it. So that's what our batter looks like. As you can see, it's nice and uniformed. And what I'll do now is I'll wash my hands off and set that aside. And we're going to put it in between 2 sheets of parchment paper. Put it on the pizza pan and go ahead and bake it off in the oven until it's ready, and then we'll get the pizza going. I got a nice new round pizza pie pan, and I'm going to use the parchment paper to roll it out to the side of the pan. And so it doesn't move all over the place. If you haven't got a sheeting pan for a pizza pie, you can use a cookie sheeting pan like I did the last time. We just bought this pan this past week at Walmart, by the way. You just take that and you just dump it right on top of it. There you go, just like that. So you get all the good stuff. Okay, then you just take the other sheet like this. Very, very simple, guys. And you use your hands and you roll it out. I think what we're going to do at this point, we're going to go get the rolling pin. So we're going to roll it out into the shape that we're looking for. And you just keep working it. I think I'm going to take it off the pan and do it on the table. And then I'll transfer it onto the sheeting pan afterwards. Okay. So all I'm doing at this point is I'm just rolling it out, and I keep rolling it out, and I'm trying to get it into a some type of a round what you want to do is just kind of roll it over and to make some type of a round circle with it. It's basically what I'm doing. Some type of a pizza pie. It's not a big deal. Okay, so you can see we got our dough made up into about as good as I can get it into a round pizza pie. We have it about a 1/4 of an inch thick, and what we're going to do over here is we're going to tear off the rest of this gum paper. Yeah, we're going to put that onto our pizza pie pan and bake this in the oven. I'm just tearing off the noise you're hearing is I'm just tearing off the sides. It's kind of like this. I don't have all that extra overhang. Okay, that's good. So if you did it right, you followed along with me, this is what you should probably end up with, something like this. Now you could double up the batch, and you can even split this batch in half and make 2 small little pie pizzas, but this is perfectly fine what I'm looking for. And at this point, we'll clean up our hands. We'll go bake that in the oven for about 10 minutes until it's golden brown, and then we'll pop it out, and then we'll assemble the pizza together with the toppings. We'll put sugar-free Ramos pizza sauce, and then we'll put some mozzarella cheese and whatever I'm going to put on there for toppings for tonight. But this is going to be for our supper for tonight. Okay, so we're back in the back room again. Our pizza is fully cooked, pie crust, and I'm not going to pick it up because I don't want it to break. Maybe you could just pick it up a little bit with the papers. Careful, your pie's going to be hot, but it's pretty stiff. And now we're going to add our toppings. For our choice of toppings, I'm going to be putting in some Ramos homemade spaghetti pizza, homemade pizza. I had this open from the last time I had made a sauce, and I wanted to use up the rest of this. And if I feel as if I got enough, not enough, I got the same exact jar and another jar that's already, I already popped the lid. This might actually be enough. All you got to do is just top your pizza with your pie crust with some sauce. Oh, might have to add a little more. All right, just get discarded. And I also bought some tomato basil sauce there for a pizza topping. Okay, there we go. Just spread it around. Try to get it even. I probably would say it probably used about maybe a cup and a half. Just like that. Okay? Very simple. Very, very simple. Now for our choice of toppings, we're going to put mozzarella cheese, and we're going to put some Parmesan cheese. And there's no really right or wrong answer how much you want to put on there. Put up whatever you want. And we're going to try using 2 different kinds of cheeses today. So I bought some mozzarella cheese at Market Basket on their brand, and I'm fine with it. I often see most chefs will buy the block cheese, and but they'll probably do it with a lot of this stuff there. They'll take it and they'll shred it up, and they'll have all fresh. But you know, when you're in I just don't feel like going through that particular process. So I probably got about a cup of cheese on here. Now we're gonna put some Parmesan Oregano. Now what you could probably do is you could probably make these up ahead of time and just put them in the microwave when you come home, and you'll be all set, you know, or bake them up in the oven, or just get your pie all ready, just like this, and bake it off in the oven when you come home if you're a working mom or dad or something like that, and and this is a great project to do with your kids. I think I'm going to put a little more. I'm going to put the rest of this fatty cheese on because I like it cheesy. Cheesy. There we go. Just put the rest of that cheese on here. So I got about 2 cups of mozzarella cheese on here, and I got about a cup of Parmesan cheese on here because I wanted to use up that. And for our choice of toppings today, I'm just going to put a little bit of bagged frozen peppers, about a handful. Just like that. And then we're going to do a little bit of chopped onions. You know, only your imagination is whatever you want to put on for toppings. And I love these pre-chopped bags there. We get them pretty cheap at Market Basket. Market Basket, they're still under $1, so they're pretty cheap. All the stores carry them when they get the product in the store. And that's our pre-processed stuff for cooking pizza. So now we're going to put everything back in the freezer and put the open jars of sauce away, and then we're going to take this, and we're going to go pop that in the oven till the cheese is all melted, and we can go ahead and eat. And so we made our pizza. Now we're going to put it in the oven to finish the cooking process. So what we did was we took 2 cups of almond flour, mixed spices that we put in. We put garlic powder, onion powder, a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of, actually we used 2 teaspoons of olive oil, and then 2 eggs. We combined it all together. We rolled it out into a pizza pie, baked it in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes on 400 till it was nice golden brown. You can see from the outside. Now we're going to go bake it back into the oven to the cheese and everything's all melted and incorporated together, and then we'll cut it and do a taste test, and I'll tell you how it came out. And you know, typically I'll get 2 meals out of this, guys. You got to be careful with the almond flour because it packs quite a bit of carbs. I did the calorie count on these earlier on the macros, and the amount of everything that I'm using right now comes up to about 2,500 calories. So you got to be really careful with eating this stuff. But you know, but it is gluten free, and it's really good for you. And you know, if you was to buy a regular pizza with a small plane and eat the whole thing, you would have a lot more calories than what I'm having here. And this is all healthier stuff for you. At least I know what I'm putting into my sauce and everything. And I'm not knocking any of those pizza places because I do go to a lot of them a lot of times when I'm in a pinch and I don't feel like making this. But this, you can see how easy it was to make. Within no time at all, I had this all made. And like I said, you could take your dough. You could take parchment paper. You could roll it out into little your size of your pizza, and you can freeze half a dozen of those. So when you come home, all you got to do is pop the dough up, put your sauce and your cheese or whatever you want on your toppings, and you're good to go. But it really is so simple that anybody can really do this. But let's go put this in the oven, and enough of that. Okay, so now we're back into the back room. Our pizza is now complete. The whole process took me about maybe 30 minutes. Once I had the ingredients all weighed in and put in the bowl, I put the 2 eggs and I put 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then I started combining it with my hands because the spatula didn't quite work well for me. without over mixing your batter. Then I laid it on between a large sheet of parchment, folded it over, flattened it all out into a nice round pizza pie like that, put it on. And the first I had it on the pie plate, but then I took it off and I worked it more on the table. And then I moved the parchment paper onto the sheeting pan, and once I had the shape I wanted, I put it back in the oven for 8 minutes on 400. It made a nice golden brown crust, and we were just kind of like waiting for it to cool a little bit. Then we're gonna start cutting it up and have a sample of it. But yeah, so the whole process took about a half an hour. I'm using the tray's cooled down a lot, but it's still too hot for me to cut, hold on to it without burning myself. So we're just gonna see how it cuts. So it did cut it. So now we're going to turn it the other way, cut it this way. It's cutting right through just like butter. You don't have to put too much pressure on it. We'll cut it again in a couple more slices. Making sure they're all cut. Okay. So let's try grabbing out we tried this one first. So let's see how it comes off of there. Or it doesn't come off of there. So I just grab a hold of the cheese and put it back on the pizza. But as you can see, pizza is got a nice crust, and put it that way so you can see. Take a bite. This is really, really good. I think what happened on that particular slices that we didn't quite cut all the way through enough, see? So look at it now, it's coming right out. We're still going to eat it. But yeah, look at that, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And let me know what you want me to see, what you want. Well, this concludes another episode of In the Kitchen with Ron. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And always remember that sharing is caring. And if you want to, let me know what else you want me to make, and I'll put it together for you. Now this is all based on what I was eating last year and the year before to lose all my weight. I'm in week 76 right now, and I'm having a terrific week. And I'm continuing to film out recipes and stuff every day. And I'm going to put stuff on the YouTube channel. And anyways, be watching for the next video. Remember, you guys are amazing.